Alright, it is currently December 18th, playing MK1 for the first time since Season 3 updated. We are going to see if my online has been fixed or not. So let's go ahead and try and get into a match here. I'll just say casual versus, why not? And let's see.
So as you can see by the fast forwarding matchmaking going on, this issue has still not been resolved for PlayStation 5. I don't know if this is just a personal server issue or whatever causes this. I have never figured that out and I probably never will. But if you still have this issue and you didn't catch my last rant video about it, you can fix it by turning the game off and on again. Like literally try matchmaking. If it doesn't work, turn the game off and then turn it back on and keep trying. Eventually it will go through and work. I don't know why that is. It's pretty fucked up, but it does serve as a temporary solution to an otherwise ongoing problem. Even though I believe I'm in the minority of people still having this issue, but whatever. Moving on. Season 3 for Invasions mode is now here, including some new changes and additional content, as one would expect. So, did they change things for the better, or are some things even worse? Let's talk about it. So firstly, with the season's theme revolving around Sub-Zero, we have a lot of blue cosmetic palettes as well as a winter aesthetic, which I really like. Blue is my favorite color after all, so for the first time in Invasions mode history, that being the first 3 seasons, I finally give a shit about unlocking the cosmetics because I seriously think they do look really good. Especially since we're keeping it seasonal with the whole snow and ice thing. But I did notice in the Shrine's new item pool that we're now unlocking the character's combat card foregrounds, which would normally be unlocked through their personal progression system, and it seems to be substituting for a lack of new content for the Shrine, which I'll be honest, seems very lazy and I don't like unlocking these here. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not to say there's absolutely nothing new in the Shrine. I did finally manage to unlock Reiko's original short Ed Boon hairstyle, which is great. I'm glad we can finally have that. But, speaking of repurposing assets, the exact same mesas are once again reused in the Invasions mode. Now, I've said this before, but the worlds aren't exactly the same. The formats are a little different, and the placements and all that, but come on. You're lying to yourself if you don't think these are getting stale as fuck. We shouldn't have to keep playing the exact same 6 mesas every single month, every season, for a mode that most people are agreeing has already gotten extremely boring and repetitive. Especially since Mortal Kombat's known for having all of these different kinds of realms. Can we maybe see something different, something new finally? But let's talk about something positive, shall we? With the new update, we finally got Quani, even though I still believe he should have released with the base game alongside Ermac, but whatever, he's still great. He is amazing looking, visually one of the best Quani designs we've ever had for Mortal Kombat. They got really creative with his portals and shit, the necromancy, the Netherrealm demons, it's all great looking. He's extremely fun to use. I've used him for basically that entire first mesa, and I'm loving him. He has the best uppercut in the whole game with the skeleton coming slapping up. I think I'm going to be maining him for most of this new season, honestly. And I'd go as far as to say he's even better than Omni-Man. Now, don't get me wrong, Omni-Man was a great DLC character, we all agree on that. But I felt like over time, most of his combos ended up being the same, relying on the same exact air juggles and grab, drag, and throw, but whatever. Whereas with Quani, you get a lot of diversity and options with his combos that you're free to utilize. He's just a great character all around. He looks amazing with his gear choices. If Quani looks this good, I can't even imagine how good Ermac's going to be looking when he comes out. I can't wait for him. Even Quani's finishers, fatalities, all that shit just looks awesome. But let me go ahead and open up another gripe I have with the game, which is Quani's advertised cameo not releasing with his character. This is the second time this has happened, with it being Chameleon now instead of Tremor, which is starting to get really annoying because we can see in the trailers that she's finished and completed. Just put her in the game. I mean, I still get why NetherRealm is doing this, drip feeding the content. They're trying to retain player attention span as long and as much as possible, which I personally don't think is working out too well for them, but hey, what do I know? I also noticed that the seasonal store is lacking a little bit in options. Even though I do like the choices we have, it's noticeably barren compared to the first two seasons. Don't know what's up with that. Whereas with the premium store, we have a couple new Christmas palettes that I really like, especially that reptile skin. I'm seriously thinking about getting it. And if you bought the seasonal fatalities, we now have access to the winter one, which, I'm going to be honest, is pretty great. I'm going to go ahead and play my reaction to seeing it for the first time right here.
Alright, this is gonna be my first time seeing this winter fatality. I hear it's pretty good. Alright, let's do it. Candy cane, yep. Advertised. As advertised. Oh my fuck. The Krampus skin.
Quani wins.
That's pretty fucking awesome. Not gonna lie, I like that one a lot. That's great.
With the update, we also got a few quality of life changes that I want to talk about here. The first of which being that the frame rate has noticeably improved, at least on my end. This is the smoothest I've ever seen the fatalities play out. And the pause menu has been reorganized so that the finisher inputs are put as the last section instead of the cameo, with the cameo's finishers being taken out and put into the finisher section. Just organizing it a lot better. I think it looks really good, so I'm glad they did that. We also finally got the intro dialogue interactions between characters for the single-player modes, specifically the classic and Invasions towers and some of the Invasions boss fights. I don't know why these didn't release with the game, since we can clearly see it was always capable of doing so, but I'm just glad to have these outside of multiplayer. Now you can hear these dialogues when you play the Invasions towers, which makes them a little bit more worth doing, even though I still think they kind of suck. The only tower that has some substantial content to it is the seasonal tower that changes, but it also just tends to drag on. With all that being said, I'm glad to see Mortal Kombat make some good changes, which you would hope it would do with it aging, that it would evolve and improve on itself. Season 3 is definitely on the up and up right now, in terms of future potential, at least compared to Season 2. My god, was that a boring fucking season. I do think when we finally get all the content for this game, including the Combat Pack 1's DLC characters, that this Mortal Kombat entry can break its mediocre shell and be considered a good fighting game. But that's all I wanted to talk about regarding the new season. There's my little state of the game update for you guys. Just wanted to keep everyone in the loop in terms of how I feel regarding the new changes to MK1, since I've talked quite a lot of shit about this game. Hope you all enjoyed watching, and bye-bye.